So Nike finally released their trailer for Caitlin Clark's sneaker.
Nike transformed Caitlin Clark into a snake in a single, terrifying advertisement. Her iconic shoes sold out in a record-breaking 5 minutes after that. And almost at once, a horde of internet reviewers went completely crazy. This was more than a marketing initiative. A new queen in sports was formally crowned thanks to a well-planned power move. By doing this, it revealed a savage conflict that has been going on beneath the surface. And it all began with a commercial that was more of a statement than an advertisement. What specifically did Nike display to the globe that sparked such a strong and incensed response, Ben?
Heard already, I'm pretty sure you have. Nike has released a new Caitlin Clark commercial, and they made it their business to show love and show out for none other than CC. Now, we know fans has definitely been in odds with the company ever since signing Caitlin Clark. A lot of people feel as if they put Caitlin Clark on the back burner. I don't know, man. I'm a Nike fan. I know a lot of people going to disagree with me on this, but I think Nike was strategic with their growth. People could be mad about it or feel whatever way they feel about it. But one thing I can tell you is that I feel as if they were strategic.
The commercial that ended the quiet resembled a scene from a popular movie more than it did a product advertisement. A declaration was made. Caitlin Clark opens the video. She was really focused. She's putting on a pair of eye-catching black and gold Kobe 5s while sitting in a dimly lit room. She has long referred to her shoes as her magic. However, a terrifying metamorphosis starts when the laces tighten. Her eyes, which are renowned for their fierce competition, change into terrifying snake-like slits. It is an unmistakable straight channeling of the renowned Mamba attitude of the late Kobe Bryant.
Caitlin Clark and Nike are officially dropping Caitlin Clark's Indiana Fever player-exclusive Kobe 5s in just a couple weeks. So this shoe was first seen being worn by Caitlin and was thought to be a colorway made just for her up until just a couple days ago, where Nike's official images of the shoes got leaked and the announcement was made saying that everyone will now have a chance to wear.
The prestige of the entire production was palpable. The emotional score, the elegant cinematography, and the top-notch visual effects were all A-list. This type of high-end superstar treatment is usually only given to a select few cultural icons, such as LeBron James or Michael Jordan. Women's sports have been given the leftover marketing materials for decades, frequently getting advertisements that seemed forced or uninspired. It wasn't a scrap advertisement. It served as the centerpiece and a declaration to the world that Nike was at last prepared to take ownership of the situation.
We got something for Caitlin. We got Mamba Caitlin. We got Mamba Caitlin. Where is the Mamba Caitlin? There we go. We had the Mamba logo. We have Caitlin on demon time right now. But yeah, it's good to know that they finally announced it as Caitlin's, as a Caitlin logo. Or sorry, as a...
However, no significant shift in contemporary sports is uncontested. For each individual who viewed the commercial as a strong and long overdue homage, a predictable chorus of critics emerged to express their outrage. The same stale arguments that have followed Caitlin since her undergraduate days were all over the internet. What is causing her to receive so much attention? They sobbed. What about the other players who are more well-known? For a youngster who hasn't shown anything yet, this is just too much. These criticisms were not made in good faith. They were the noises of gatekeepers incensed that someone had challenged their ideas about how an athlete, especially a female athlete, ought to develop.
Now, people felt the type of way, about Caitlin Clark getting these PE shoes. A lot of people felt as if she should have her own signature shoe, which she should. She very should. But guys, I don't think there's any player that got a Kobe PE, bro. Like, do y'all know who Kobe was in the basketball world, bro? I'm just saying, Kobe didn't, allow, even his family, I'm pretty sure it's not just going to give his signature shoe to just anybody. You know what I'm saying? Other NBA players ain't even got.
It was an odd, almost deliberate resistance to accept the indisputable fact that was right in front of them. There is more to Caitlin Clark than just another member on the team. After a risky delay, Nike finally had the guts to market her as the icon she already is. She is the face of women's basketball, a commercial powerhouse. Fairness was not the cause of the backlash. It has to do with opposition to change.
These things is some fire. I'm telling you, where there's smoke, there is fire, and these things is hitting so hard. And who got a bot? Who a shoe plug? Because I need 2 pairs. I need one for the sneaker wall, and I need one for my feet, because these things is hitting right here, and no, I don't want to pay $600 on.
The free market was rendering its own judgment on the issue, while the gatekeepers and haters were occupied with crafting irate tweets. Its decision was also prompt, harsh, and final. You must examine the minutes, not the hours, after the Kobe P sneakers dropping on Nike's infamously challenging SNKRS app in order to fully understand what transpired. The first 13,000 pairs of stock vanished. They did more than simply sell out. In less than 5 minutes, they disappeared. When a digital feeding frenzy ensued, the $190 retail price vanished into a charming, faraway memory.
So it's finally here. Caitlin Clark sneakers from Nike is finally dropping. She was signed to them last year, and the sneakers is a year late in my opinion, but nonetheless I'm excited because these sneakers is finally coming out. But what does annoy me a little bit is that this is a collaboration with Kobe. Now, Kobe, respect to Kobe, the legend, rest in peace, great basketball player. But in my opinion, Caitlin Clark is a big enough star and she's creating her own legacy. So I feel like, at least for her first sneaker, it shouldn't be a collaboration with any other player, dead or alive, in my opinion. I feel like Caitlin should have, for her first shoe, had her own original design just for her, no collab.
Pairs were already being sold for $375 on eBay and other resale websites in less than 2 hours. StockX, the top indicator of sneaker value, displayed an average sale price of $365 at the end of the day, with the most sought-after sizes skyrocketing to an incredible $800. This wasn't some carefully contrived marketing team nonsense. This was the unadulterated, uncontrollable, and unquestionable strength of the Caitlin Clark effect, a consumer demand factor that had not been present in the sport for many years.
Your stock price since 2021, it is down nearly 60%. Your executives and the people who are making these decisions, their stock options are worthless. Meanwhile, you have the single biggest needle mover in all of American sports since Michael Jordan, and you have somehow convinced yourself that you need to slow play this. Let me show you Google Trends search traffic for 4 female basketball players. There is one who only rivals Caitlin Clark, and that is Angel Reese, and you do not have her. She is over at Reebok. I am so confused as to how you would be so invested in the WNBA for several years, and you have been doing great work to try to elevate and uplift that league and many of the athletes there. But this seems like you have convinced yourself that this needs to be an either-or conversation. And we never have an either-or conversation in the men's sports. You have like 10 signature athletes. Half of them don't deserve a signature.
The sneaker drop and commercials' unexpected, explosive success only served to draw attention to a more complex and turbulent story that had been going on behind Nike's closed doors. This went beyond a straightforward instance of a postponed marketing strategy. It was a sign of a PR disaster that almost erupted and internal strife. The negative comments made about Clark and fellow WNBA player A'ja Wilson added to the tension. The entire story was altered by a shocking revelation while Nike was being publicly chastised for promoting Wilson's brand while neglecting Clark. Wilson acknowledged that she had been aware of her own signature shoe deal for 2 full years. She kept this information a secret while her camp made what many saw as passive-aggressive remarks and subtweets, which seemed to stoke a rivalry by suggesting that she was being passed over for the new rookie.
The long-awaited, highly anticipated Caitlin Clark player exclusive, not her signature shoe. Remember, they're not creative enough to think of that. But that should be coming out in a few months as well. But the player exclusive, they're starting to give it the push. This is the rollout. We got a clothing line coming before the holidays. Let's see how many resources Nike puts behind Caitlin Clark now that we're going to start getting some of her merchandise coming out, and fans are indeed.
Here's what the naysayers are truly upset about, though. At last, Nike is treating Caitlin like the despot she has always been. The drama was staged. Then, 15-year Nike veteran Jordan Rodgers exposed the company's internal turmoil to the world. In a harsh public criticism, he said that his previous company had the biggest needle mover in American sports since Michael Jordan, and that they somehow persuaded themselves that they needed to downplay this. He revealed Nike's reluctance to engage in an either-or debate, something they never do with its male superstars, such as Giannis Antetokounmpo, Kevin Durant, and LeBron James, who all have trademark lines at the same time. The corporation that Rodgers exposed was gripped by dread, an enormous creature stumbling over its own feet.